What is the project life cycle?
Once again we turn to the Project Management Institute's Guide to the Project Management Body of Knowledge for a definition of project management. It defines project management as the application of knowledge, skills, tools, and techniques to project activities to meet project requirements. In the project management triangle, we are concerned with the management of the project's time, cost, and scope. These concerns lead us to manage the project's quality, risk, communications, integration, schedule, performance, stakeholder needs, desires, requirements, and expectations. It is interesting to note that when PMI changed the PMBOK to its latest version, it changed this definition from meet or exceed project requirements to meet requirements. This is a bit of a departure from the approach of giving the customer a little something extra. In the past it was considered good practice to give the customer a little more than was asked for. The customer was thought to be pleased at getting something for nothing. Today we realize that these little extras frequently come with a price. The little extra software routine we added may have maintenance problems that the customer will have to pay for later. This is not to say that improvements and cost savings should not be brought up to the customer and discussed. It does mean, however, that we should not give customers anything extra without discussing it with them. Any project will be managed by the 5 project management processes of initiating, planning, executing, controlling, and closing. These processes will be used in every phase of the project. In the beginning phases of the project we may be closing out a phase, while in the next phase of the project we may just be beginning the initiation process of that phase. Tell me more. As projects grow in size, it becomes more important that they be considered in phases where each phase of the project will have a certain number of deliverables that will be a result of completing that phase. Deliverables are tangible, verifiable products of the project. These deliverables will be passed on to one of the stakeholders. A stakeholder is anyone who has something to gain or lose as a result of the completion of this project or phase. The end of a phase of a project may have a review where a decision to continue or not continue with the project is made. The project life cycle, illustrated in Figure 1.1, begins with the project charter and ends when all of the deliverables of the project have been delivered. This includes closeout and cleanup of the project because these two are deliverables. Referring to the figure, it can be seen that projects will generally start out with a relatively small cost per day and a relatively small staff. As the project progresses, the rate of spending increases and the number of persons involved with the project increases until some peak point in spending occurs. After this peak point, the project spending decreases as more work is completed on the project and fewer people are needed. Eventually the project comes to an end, spending stops, and all of the deliverables have been delivered. As the project progresses from the beginning to the end, the total risk associated with the project decreases. The project life cycle comprises the stages of a project from beginning to end. There are 5 phases that can overlap somewhat but generally take place in chronological order. They are, in order, initiating, planning, executing, controlling, and close out. The project life cycle begins when the project first comes into existence. This usually occurs with the creation and approval of the project charter. The project ends when all of the deliverables of the project have been delivered or disposed of and all of the final paperwork, including the lessons learned document, has been completed. In general, these are the different phases in the project life cycle. Since we all live in a world of freedom, companies may choose to give. Figure 1.1, Project Life Cycle. These phases different names. If we were to consider the life cycle for the defense industry, we might have phases like concept and technology development, system development and demonstration, production, development, and support. In the construction industry, we might see life cycles such as feasibility, planning and design, construction, turnover, and startup. It is important to recognize that the life cycle for a project can be described many different ways, but we should recognize that whatever the phases are called by a particular company or industry, they will be chronological in order, and the expenditures that take place in the early and late phases will be relatively less than in the middle of the project. For our discussions, we will use a generic description of the phases of the life cycle: initiation, planning, execution, control, and close out.